Eclipse, when she was delivered in 2010, she was the largest private yacht on Earth. For 3 years, nothing surpassed her. And in 15 years, nothing has come close to her story. This is Luxora, where luxury isn't just shown, it's revealed. There is a version of Roman Abramovich'S story that begins with oil and ends with sanctions. That version is true, as far as it goes. But there is another one that begins with a boy from Saratov, a city on the Volga River in southwestern Russia, who lost both parents before he was 4 years old, who was raised by an uncle in the Arctic Circle, who sold dolls out of his Moscow apartment in 1988, and somehow, through a sequence of events that economic historians still find difficult to fully explain, ended up controlling one of the largest oil companies in post-Soviet Russia by his early 30s. That version is also true, and it is the version that makes Eclipse comprehensible. Because Eclipse is not the yacht of a man who was always wealthy. It is the yacht of a man who arrived at extraordinary wealth from an extraordinary distance and who built, in steel and glass and security systems and submarines, the most complete possible expression of having arrived. Eclipse was built by Blohm+Voss at their Hamburg shipyard, the same yard where the Bismarck was constructed. A detail that has been repeated so many times in coverage of the vessel that it has become almost mythological. It carries weight, though. Blohm+Voss is not a facility for ordinary ambitions. The shipyard has built naval vessels, ocean liners, and some of the most technically demanding private yachts in history. When Abramovich brought Eclipse to Hamburg, he was choosing the yard the way you choose a tailor, not for what they make, but for what they are capable of making when pushed. Construction began around 2005 and took 5 years. 5 years of design, engineering, fabrication, and refinement for a single vessel. The aesthetic design, exterior and interior both, was the work of Terence Disdale Design, the London-based studio whose portfolio reads like a history of significant superyachts across 4 decades. For Eclipse, Disdale was given a brief that went well beyond aesthetics. The vessel needed to function at the scale of a small ship, while feeling, internally, like the most considered private residence ever put on water. It needed to accommodate 36 guests across 18 staterooms. It needed to operate with a crew of 70. And it needed to carry, within its hull and electronics, a security infrastructure that had no precedent in private maritime history. The exterior styling is dramatic in a way that most superyachts deliberately avoid. Where the prevailing aesthetic of the era favored flowing horizontals and restraint, Eclipse is tiered, assertive, almost architectural in its massing. The superstructure steps upward in distinct levels that read from a distance as deliberate rather than organic, each deck clearly delineated. The whole profile communicating power rather than elegance in the conventional sense. She is 162.5 meters long, with a beam of 22.4 meters and a gross tonnage of 13,564 GT. The interior carries hundreds of custom finishes exclusively developed for this project. The phrase custom finishes exclusively developed sounds like marketing language until you spend a moment with what it actually means. That the surfaces, the materials, the hardware, the joinery details throughout this vessel were not selected from catalogs or supplier ranges. They were designed, specified, prototyped, and produced for Eclipse alone. Nothing was borrowed from another project. Nothing was off the shelf. At the scale of 162 meters and 36 guests, That level of bespoke specification is not simply expensive, it is logistically extraordinary. It requires years of pre-production before a single fitting is installed. Years of coordination between designers and craftspeople and suppliers across multiple countries, all working toward a vessel whose interiors would be, when complete, unlike anything that had been built before. The swimming pool on Eclipse is 16 meters in length, significant in its own right, but it is the engineering beneath it that makes it genuinely remarkable. The base of the pool can be raised hydraulically, transforming the pool area into a dance floor. 2 helipads serve Eclipse, one forward, one aft, capable of receiving helicopters of significant size. 3 helicopters are said to be among the vessel's support fleet. 3. Most vessels with helipad capability carry 1 aircraft. Eclipse carries 3 because there are operational scenarios, the simultaneous movement of guests, security personnel, and principals between the vessel and multiple locations that 1 helicopter cannot efficiently serve. And then there is the Submarine. Eclipse is widely reported to carry a mini submarine capable of diving to approximately 50 meters, stored within the yacht's hull in a dedicated tender garage. A submarine. The vessel carries, within its hull, another vessel, one that can submerge. The practical applications of a private submarine at 50 meters depth include the exploration of dive sites inaccessible to divers, the movement of people between locations without surface visibility, and the simple, extraordinary fact of being able to descend beneath the ocean from a yacht and look up at the hull of the vessel you just left. The submarine is not the strangest thing about Eclipse's security infrastructure. It is simply the most visible. The security systems of Eclipse represent perhaps the most discussed and least fully verified aspect of the vessel. Includes a missile detection and defense system, radar jamming technology, armored areas within the hull, and bulletproof glass throughout key areas of the superstructure. Roman Abramovich sold Chelsea Football Club in May 2022, under the pressure of UK sanctions. He has not sold Eclipse. The vessel remains, as far as the available record shows, in his ownership, sitting in Marmaris, burning a ton of fuel a day, maintained to the standard she was delivered at, waiting for circumstances that may or may not return. She was the world's largest private yacht for 3 years. She was voted the world's best motor yacht in her first year of life. She carries a submarine and a laser system and a dance floor that was a swimming pool this afternoon. She has been stranded by geopolitics in a Turkish harbor for years. And she still burns, every single day, enough fuel to keep her alive, as though her owner believes, or needs to believe, that the day will come when she moves again. Eclipse raises a question that goes beyond yachts and oligarchs and sanctions. It is a question about what we build when we have the resources to build anything. And what happens when the world around those things changes faster than the things themselves can adapt. A vessel like Eclipse was designed for a specific world, a specific set of circumstances, a specific set of freedoms, a specific relationship between wealth and mobility that existed in 2005 when the brief was written, and that has been profoundly altered since. The yacht endures. The world it was built for does not. What does that mean to you? When something is built at this level of ambition and then stripped of the conditions that made it possible, does it still mean what it was meant to mean? Or does a great object, stranded, become something else entirely? Drop your answer below. This is worth thinking about. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing content.